From the Bob Mills Weather Center, the Oklahoma weather expert, Travis Meyer.
Well, we get to, I guess we're going to look at the cup half full and say we're going to enjoy the fact that, yeah, it's colder right before Christmas, and it'll feel a lot like Christmas in the northern plains. The North Pole, maybe Siberia. Here's what's going on right now. These are actual temperatures mentioned a little bit ago. Daytime high in Denver was 50. They're at -9 right now. You can see temperatures now of 4 in Lincoln. Earlier it was like 33. So this is all heading south. This is across Kansas, now getting into our panhandle. And the rest of it is just kind of hanging in there, 30s, 40s, and 50. Wind chills are just atrocious at this time, 20 to 46, almost 50 below zero is what it feels like. Your skin, it's just frostbite can happen so fast. We're going to get into that problem tomorrow morning. We have all kinds of things going on. You see the orange, that's travel advisories across Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma, much of Arkansas, winter storm warnings, Kansas City to St. Louis, blizzard warnings in the magenta colors. Again, wind chill warnings, not just advisories. It's rough. Notice what's going on too out in the panhandle. That blue, you see that? Cold front just hit there. There's single digits out in the panhandle now. Slap out, I think, is someplace like around 3 degrees at this time. Guyman just went from 30s and then went down to 21. And also with that is coming the strong winds. They have 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts now out of the north. The rest of us have a light south wind. So that's what's headed our way. And it's going to be here in the morning. Alan, Stephen, our storm trackers are going out early this morning to position, or tomorrow morning specifically. The problem, though, is that even if you're south and west Tulsa, we're going to talk about lack of snow, south and west, not as much. There's icing conditions that could get you guys as well. So we've been really focusing on Tulsa, north and east, but don't be surprised if you're in Okmulgee County and down to really from Okfuskee County and even in Pittsburgh County, if you don't have ice on bridges and overpasses, it's because you're going to have a little bit more moisture to work with, and that's not good. Looking at some new data. So it's mild here through midnight. I call it mild, 30s, but compared to where we're going. And then by 3 o'clock, we're still okay. But then as that front comes through, there's a huge drop-off in temperatures of about 20, 25 degrees in some cases within about 20 minutes or less. And so that's that flash freeze. And if there's a little bit of moisture, drizzle, a little bit of light rain, that'll be enough to freeze on surfaces that are elevated, and then you're going to get a glaze. It doesn't take much, and that's going to be very deceiving early morning. That's why everybody's going to be out, and we have our news teams out for tomorrow morning. And then also we have that wave of snow that'll come through. And there could be a band of really heavy snow, and we'll have those 30 or 40-mile-an-hour winds or more. And so you could have almost blizzard conditions where you couldn't see maybe a quarter mile. So don't be surprised about that. So that's one of the big issues that we're dealing with. And then during the day, the rest of the day, the roads we'll have to work on, but it's really the cold. So anybody that's outside, animals, we've got to protect everything, because this is one of the rougher shots that we get. You know, about once, twice a winter, we get something like that. Latest snowfall totals now are 1 to 2 inches around Tulsa. We were kind of saying ½ inch to an inch. Feel a little bit more confident on 1 to 2 inches, 3 to 4 inches when you get north and east of Tulsa. A lot of it's going to be blowing and going, so you won't even know. A lot of it will just be grass with a little bit of white stuff on it, and then the sheltered areas will be the areas that have most of the snow cover, so you'll have to watch out for that. Freezing drizzle chances are from 4 to about 5 a.m. in Tulsa, a little bit later if you're south and east. Snow and then just blowing snow as we go on into about 10 to noontime, then that drops off real quick. And as we said, dangerous wind chills across the area for Thursday and Friday. So wind chills tomorrow will be 20 to 30 below zero in the area, 20 to 30 below. Again, frostbite can happen so fast. Kids want to go out because there's snow. Got to cover everything. All skin has to be covered because it's not going to be good for kids or anybody out there. And then that same thing goes on all night tomorrow night into Friday morning. So this is why it's so dangerous. And then the winds die down a little bit by Friday afternoon. Temperatures are really not a whole lot different, but at least it won't be quite as severe at -1. Anyway, Saturday, look for temperatures in the 20s for Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day, 30s to maybe near 40. I want to mention as well, last year, Christmas Eve was 78, Christmas Day was 72. What a difference a year can make, 24 and 35. Remember, that was last year. I don't remember if it was so warm. This isn't going to last too long, so that's the welcome news. And then we get a big thaw real quick into next week as we enter into 2023. So there is good news there. So we're going to look at the bright side. Anyway, it's a short bout, but it's a bad bout. So be ready for that, because that's just what we're going to have to deal with. And in Owasso, the Wells family, yep, they're going to keep this, at least a lot of Christmas spirit going for us. We appreciate it. So overall, it's cold. It is bitter cold, and that's just what we're dealing with. Then it gets better for Christmas Day, and then it looks really good next week if you want warm weather. That is your winter forecast. We'll be right back with sports.